Hello there, my name is Wajuna Edgar, and I am a data science and business analytics intern at the Sparks Foundation. I'm here to make a presentation on the fourth task, which is on exploratory data analysis. The aim of the task is to perform EDA on a global terrorism data set. So the first thing I did was to analyze my data. This was where the analysis was done. I had to clean up, do some data cleaning because it was a messy data set. And next was to create my dashboard. So this is my dashboard. So the number of affected countries, including islands, for this data set were 205, and the number of period of affected years is 47. The least number of years was 1970, and the highest being 2017. So here includes the number of countries. The first chart shows the number of countries per region, the number of affected countries, with sub-Saharan Africa with the highest of 49 countries, followed by Eastern Europe, followed by Western Europe. And we can see that North America has the least number of affected countries with 3. The next chart illustrates the top 25 countries with the highest attacks. From this chart, it is seen that Iraq has the highest attacks with almost 25,000 attacks, followed by Pakistan. Pakistan has a number of 12,731 attacks. The least country on this top 25 spectrum is Syria, with an attack of 2,201. The next is the attack type per region. This includes armed assault, assassination, bombing, facility attack, hostage taking, which could be barricade incident or kidnapping, unarmed assault, and also unidentified forms of attack. And it is seen that the Middle East and North Africa ranks the highest in these forms of attack. The attack type that has the highest occurring rate is the bombing/explosion, which has the value of 30,908. For the next highest region with attacks, which is South Asia, it has, for the bombing, it has almost it has over 21,000 forms types of attack, and the third highest is sub-Saharan Africa. The next chart illustrates the total attacks by year. This includes number of successful attacks and also number of unsuccessful attacks. So from the chart, it illustrates that 2014 had the highest number of attacks with 16,903. And out of that, the number of successful attacks is recorded as 15,015. So that gives us a rough estimate of about 1,888 unsuccessful attacks. The next is the total attacks in the cities of Iraq. From the above chart, it is observed that Iraq has the highest ranks as the highest country with the highest form of attack. So the cities in Iraq that has this high attacks include Baghdad and Mosul, the top 2 cities, and the least number of attacks. The least number of attacks is recorded in the city of Tamiya. The city of Baghdad has about over 21,000 attacks. Next is the target attacks by region. This includes what the terrorist group, what they target whenever they attack, whenever they strike. So we have the private citizens and property, military, police, governments ranking as the top 4 target attacks by these regions. And we can also see here that the Middle East, just like above, the Middle East and North Africa ranks highest in these forms of attack, followed by South Asia. They also even rank high individually in terms of this target attacks. Just for example, see the Middle East ranking high in private citizens and property. They are also ranking high in military attack and also ranking high in police attack. The next chart talks about the total number of attacks in Iran per year. So it is also observed, just like above, that in year 2014, the highest form of attack occurred. From year 1975, there wasn't so much attacks as it were until 2004. We can see the rise in attack from 2004 all the way to 2010. There was a little drop, then it began to rise again. So the number of attack per persons in Iraq. So this shows number of wounded persons and number of total persons killed. We can see that the number of wounded persons occurs over 140,000, and out of those wounded persons, about 82,131 persons were killed. The next chart talks about top 10 countries with the highest terror groups and weapons. Just as identified above, where we saw that the top 25 countries with high attacks were Iraq, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Also, the top 10 countries with highest weapon groups highest weapon and terror groups include Iraq, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, Colombia, Philippines, Peru, United Kingdom, El Salvador, and Turkey. Also, Iraq ranks high in the number of terror groups and also ranks high in the number of total weapons. The next chart talks about the number of target attacks on a global scale. We can see that private citizens and property also rank high. Military, police, government, business, and transportation, including utilities, also rank high in target attacks by these terror groups. Private citizen and property rank highest, while maritime, food or water supply, abortion-related, or other forms of attack rank least in the number of target attacks. As we have observed that Iraq is a high terror zone, we can also see that it's also good to check the count of weapon types in Iran, and we can see that the weapon types used in Iraq includes explosives, firearms, unknown, incendiary, melee, chemical, order, sabotage, and vehicle, which does not include car bombs. So from here, we can see that the explosive rank highest are mostly used by these terror groups, followed by firearms, although there is a drastic difference between the explosives and firearms. And the last chart talks about the top 10 terror groups. We can see that unknown terror groups rank highest, followed by Taliban, followed by ISIL, followed by SL, followed by FMLN, followed by Al-Shabaab, followed by MPA, followed by IRA, followed by FARC, followed by Boko Haram. So the next chart gives talks about my insights, which I have mostly spoken about. I've given some insight based on my explanation earlier. So I'm just going to do a summary, and the summary is saying that the Middle East and North Africa and South Asia are regarded as hot zones of terrorism because of the high number of terror activities coming from countries in those regions. And in recent years, Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India have experienced a rise in the level of terror attacks, with year 2014 having the highest attacks. Also, the level of terrorism is strongest in Baghdad, in Iran, due to the presence of more terror groups in the city. The presence of these terror groups also contributed to the high rise of attacks in 2014. In addition to my summary, private citizens and properties, governments, business, transportation, and utilities are usually targeted by these groups. For the government, terrorism remains a global threat on both national and global levels, and it affects the economy of every nation. Therefore, United Nations need to collaborate with countries to curtail the spread of attacks by these terror groups. Thank you for watching.